I found my enemy dying in the snow and made the fatal mistake of saving his life, the Alpha King who once burned my village to ashes. How could I know that the most feared wolf in the Northern Territories would become my protector against an ancient prophecy threatening my son? When rogues attacked our fortress and my child was taken, I plunged a dagger into his enemy's heart, forever binding our fates through blood and storm. Now the king who destroyed everything I loved kneels before me each night, his silver eyes asking for redemption I never thought I could give. Subscribe now and tell me in the comments if you've ever had to choose between vengeance and love. Because sometimes the monster in your nightmares becomes the guardian of your dreams. The snow bites through my cloak as I gather herbs in the forest. My son Eli coughs against my back, his tiny body shaking with each breath. His fever worsens. The herbs must work this time. They must. I pause, fingers numb against the frozen bark. The distant howl stops my heart. Wolves. Not ordinary wolves. Alphas. I grab the last sprigs of wintermint and run. The village exiled us 3 years ago when Eli was born without a father. They said we brought shame to the pack. They said worse things when his lungs failed him. My legs burn through the knee-deep snow. Our small cabin appears through the trees, smoke curling from the chimney like a beckoning finger. Safety. Almost there. I push harder, Eli whimpering with each jolt. Almost home, little wolf, I whisper. The door slams behind us. I bolt it, slide the iron bar across. Eli's cough worsens as I unwrap him from my back. His face burns against my palm. Breathe with mama, I say, mixing dried herbs into hot water. Small sips. The tea soothes him enough to sleep. I stroke his dark hair, so like his father's. Jacob died defending me from raiders before Eli was born. His voice was gentle, even in battle. My heart tightens with the memory. Thunder crashes outside. The blizzard descends like night itself, rattling our windows. Eli stirs but doesn't wake. My breath catches as footsteps approach the cabin. Heavy, dragging. Not the measured pace of villagers. Something slams against our door, once, twice. My fingers find the iron poker by the hearth. The door shudders with a third impact and then silence. Eli's breath catches in sleep. My own stops entirely. I open the door a crack, poker raised. A man lies face down in the snow. Blood steams on white ground, turning to ice. He doesn't move. Hello? I call, voice tight with fear. Nothing. The storm grows fiercer. I can't leave him to die. I grab his shoulders and pull. He weighs more than oxen. His armor scrapes against our threshold, blood marking his path. The scent hits me. Powerful. Dangerous. Alpha. His face remains hidden beneath a fur-lined hood. I should push him back into the storm. I should run. The howls grow closer. Mama! Eli calls, voice small with sleep and sickness. Stay in bed, sweetheart. I bolt the door behind us. The stranger bleeds from deep claw marks across his side. The wounds look deliberate, precise. Someone wanted him dead. I clean the gashes with trembling hands, binding them with herb-soaked cloth. His skin burns against my fingers. Even unconscious, power radiates from him. Thunder cracks overhead. Eli whimpers from his bed. It's just the sky arguing with itself, I say, forcing lightness into my voice. The stranger's breathing grows labored. I press a cold cloth to his forehead. His face tightens in pain. His eyes snap open. Silver. Burning. Knowing. He grabs my wrist with impossible strength. His gaze locks onto mine, filled with fury and confusion. Where am I? He demands, voice rough as stone. My home, I answer, trying to pull away. You collapsed outside. His grip tightens. Who are you? Lena. Please, you're hurting me. Something shifts in his expression. He releases me, trying to sit up. Blood seeps through my careful bandages. Stay still, I say. You'll tear the stitches. He studies me with those unnatural eyes. You're Omega. My heart stops. How does he know? I've hidden my scent for years, using herbs and isolation. My mate will return soon, I lie. He's alpha of the Eastern Pines. His lips curve slightly. The Eastern Pines haven't had an alpha in 12 seasons. A small cough comes from the corner. Eli. The stranger's head turns toward the sound. His eyes find mine, narrowed and calculating. Your son. I move between them. Yes. He's sick. A cold. Nothing more. The silence stretches between us, filled with unspoken threats. He knows I'm lying. I know he's dangerous. A sharp knock breaks the tension. 3 quick raps, then silence. Not a villager's knock. My breath catches as rough voices call through the storm. We know you're in there, Your Majesty. Your blood led us straight to you. Your Majesty? The stranger's eyes harden. He struggles to stand, swaying dangerously. Get your son, he whispers, voice suddenly urgent. Hide. What's happening? I ask. Rogues. They tracked me. The door splinters with the next blow. I grab Eli, ducking beneath the table as the stranger braces himself against the wall. The door crashes inward. 3 men enter, eyes glowing red in the firelight. Not men, wolves barely contained in human skin. Their fingers curve into claws, teeth elongating as they smile. The mighty Northern King, one sneers, bleeding like a common dog. Northern King? My heart stops. The man I saved destroyed my village 3 years ago. The man who killed Jacob's family. The king straightens despite his wounds. You followed a wounded wolf into a storm, he says, voice deadly quiet. Your last mistake. They lunge. What happens next burns into my memory forever. The king moves like death itself. His wounds seem forgotten as he meets them. Bones crack. Blood sprays across my walls. I cover Eli's eyes, trembling. The fight ends as quickly as it began. 3 bodies lie broken on my floor. The king stands among them, breath ragged, eyes silver fire. He turns to me, blood dripping from his hands. Lena, he says, my name falling from his lips like he's said it 1,000 times before. Then he collapses, the last of his strength gone. I crawl from our hiding place, Eli clutched to my chest. The king's breathing grows shallow. Despite everything, I can't let him die. Not yet. His eyes opened, silver, burning, and somehow knowing my name. The blizzard rages through the night. I move the bodies outside, covering them with snow. Evidence of death. Evidence of him. The king burns with fever on my floor. I've dragged him to the hearth, unable to lift him onto the bed. Eli watches from across the room, eyes wide with questions I can't answer. Is he a bad man? Eli asks, voice small against the howling wind. I pause, cloth dripping with the king's blood. I don't know, little wolf. But I do know. The Northern King led the raids 3 years ago. His warriors burned villages across our territory. They took what they wanted. They killed those who resisted. I clean his wounds again. The gashes run deep across his ribs, revealing muscle and bone beneath. Someone wanted to kill him slowly, painfully. Will he hurt us? Eli asks. The king's eyes flutter open at the sound. His gaze finds mine, less feral now. His hand reaches up, fingers brushing my cheek. You saved me, he whispers. I pull away. I'm helping you until the storm passes. Then you leave. His eyes close again. His breath rasps in his chest. I press fresh herbs into his wounds. He doesn't flinch. Do you fear me? He asks suddenly. The question hangs between us. I thread my needle, hands steadier than I expect. Only what alphas bring, I say, pushing the needle through his skin. He watches me work, silver eyes tracking every movement. Death, you mean? And worse. The fire crackles in the silence. I finish the last stitch, cutting the thread with my teeth. His blood tastes like metal and something else, something ancient. Sleep, I say, rising to check on Eli. The king catches my hand. Thank you. Don't thank me yet, I reply, pulling away. Eli finally sleeps, his breathing easier. I place a cool cloth on his forehead, then return to my unwanted guest. The king tosses in fever dreams. Words spill from his lips, names, commands, pleas. Something about fire, something about betrayal. Mira, he calls. The baby. Get them out! I press another cloth to his burning skin. His hand closes around my wrist, painfully tight. The palace burns, he says, eyes open but unseeing. They're trapped inside. My heart tightens despite myself. You're safe, I lie. Everyone is safe. His grip loosens. Something shifts in his expression as clarity returns. You're still here. It's my home. The boy? Sleeping. He nods, closing his eyes. Good. I watch through the night as his breathing falters, steadies, falters again. Dawn approaches, bringing silence. The storm has passed. I stand at the window, watching new snow glitter in morning light. Movement catches my eye. Dark shapes circle the clearing. 20 or more. Wolves. My breath catches as they transform. Warriors kneel in the snow, eyes downcast, fists pressed to hearts. Waiting. They've found me, the king says from behind. I spin around. He stands, swaying but upright, hand pressed to his bandaged side. Who are they? I ask. My royal guard. He moves toward the door, each step careful, measured. We should go. We're not going anywhere, I say, stepping between him and Eli. His eyes find mine. They've tracked me here. We're already surrounded. Then command them to leave. He shakes his head. Rogues followed them. They've tracked my blood scent for days. This cabin isn't safe anymore. Eli coughs from his bed. The king's gaze shifts to him, expression softening. My fortress lies half a day's journey north, he says. I give you my word, you'll both be protected there. Your word means nothing to me. Something flashes in his eyes. Pain, perhaps regret. Then accept my debt, my life for yours. Before I can answer, shouts come from outside. The pack forms a defensive circle around our cabin. Another group approaches from the forest. More rogues. We don't have time, the king says, voice urgent. Take your son, now. I gather Eli, wrapping him in every blanket we own. The king opens the door, and winter rushes in, stealing my breath. The wolves bow as we emerge. Not to him, to me. This woman saved your king, he announces, voice carrying across the clearing. Her life and her son's are worth more than your own. 20 pairs of eyes turn to me. 20 wolves ready to kill or die at his command. Until we reach the fortress, I say to him, clutching Eli tighter. Until dawn tomorrow, he agrees. Then you choose your path. We travel through snow-covered hills. The wolves form a protective circle around us, some in human form, others as beasts. Eli watches them with fascination. Are they your friends? He asks the king. They're my family, the king answers, voice gentler than I've heard before. I keep my distance, watching. The king walks beside us despite his wounds. His jaw tightens with each step, but he doesn't slow. What's your name? I ask finally. Ronan, he says, though most call me Your Majesty or Alpha King. I'll call you Ronan. His lips curve slightly. I would expect nothing less. The fortress appears on the horizon, dark stone against white mountains, massive, imposing, ancient. My steps falter. It looks forbidding, Ronan says, following my gaze, but it's warm inside. Guards salute as we approach. Servants rush forward with blankets and hot drinks. I hold Eli closer, overwhelmed by so many eyes, so many scents. "The Northern King returns!" someone shouts. Cheers erupt across the courtyard. Ronan raises a hand, silencing them instantly. "Prepare chambers for our guests," he commands. "The finest rooms in the East Wing." A woman approaches, older than the others, her silver-streaked hair pulled into a tight braid. Her eyes assess me, narrowing at Eli. "Maeve," Ronan says. "This is Lena and her son, Eli." Maeve bows slightly. "The woman who saved our king. Your scent seems familiar." My heart pounds. Does she recognize me from before? From the raids? "Show them to their rooms," Ronan says. "See that they have everything they need." Maeve leads us through stone hallways. Eli's eyes widen at tapestries and armor displays. I keep him close, memorizing each turn, each exit. Our chambers overlook the northern forest. Fire roars in a massive hearth. Food waits on silver trays. Luxury I've never known. "Rest," Maeve says. "The king will summon you for dinner." When she leaves, I rush to the window. 20 stories below, 20 wolves circle the fortress walls, not imprisoning us, protecting us. Eli falls asleep on silk sheets. I watch the door, waiting. Hours pass before it opens. Ronan enters, dressed in royal black and silver. His wounds have been treated again. He looks stronger, more dangerous. "I owe you a life debt," he says without preamble. "I want nothing from you," I reply. "Name your price. Gold, land, protection, anything within my power." I stand taller. "Freedom. When the sun rises, we leave." His eyes find mine. "Where will you go?" "Away from here. Away from alphas." Something shifts in his expression. Frustration, perhaps loss. "The forest isn't safe. Rogues still hunt for weakness." "We survived before you. We'll survive after." Ronan steps closer. "I destroyed your village, didn't I?" he asks quietly. "During the border wars." My silence answers him. "Which one?" he asks. "Pinecrest," I whisper, the name painful in my mouth. 3 years ago. His face tightens. I remember. From my balcony, 20 wolves lay around the fortress, guarding the woman who saved their king. Days pass within stone walls. Eli's cough improves with proper food and warm air. He ventures from our chambers, exploring with wide eyes. I follow, always watching, always ready. Servants whisper as I pass. The Omega who saved the king. The woman with familiar eyes. I help in the infirmary, mixing herbs and treating minor wounds. My hands know this work. Ronan keeps his distance. I see him watching from doorways, from across courtyards. His eyes follow Eli with something like hunger, something like loss. Maeve finds me grinding roots in the healing rooms. "You have talent," she says. "My grandmother taught me," I reply, not looking up. "She taught you well." Maeve sits beside me. "The king asks about you." My hands pause. "What does he ask?" "If you're comfortable, if you need anything." She studies my face. "If you plan to leave." "When the mountain pass clears," I say. Maeve's eyes narrow. "The king's enemies know your face now. They'll hunt you both." "We've survived worse." "Have you?" she asks. "Rogues aren't ordinary wolves. They serve Darius, the exiled alpha who gave Ronan those wounds." I continue my work, crushing dried flowers to powder. "Your wars aren't my concern. They became your concern when you pulled our king from death's door." Maeve stands. "Darius won't rest until he finds Ronan's weakness." "I'm not his weakness." "Perhaps not," she agrees. "But you are under his protection now." That night, I tuck Eli into bed. He clutches a carved wooden wolf, a gift from one of the guards. "Do we have to leave?" he asks, voice small in the darkness. My heart tightens. "You like it here?" He nods. The cook gives me sweet bread, and I don't cough as much. I stroke his hair, so like Jacob's. We'll see, little wolf. After he sleeps, I slip from our chambers. The fortress sleeps too, quiet except for guard patrols. I find a side entrance where servants come and go, unguarded. Planning your escape? Ronan's voice startles me. He stands in shadow, arms crossed. Not threatening, merely observing. Exploring, I lie. The kitchens are that way, he says, pointing in the opposite direction, in case you're hungry. I turn to leave. His voice stops me. You don't have to run to be free, Lena. I face him, anger rising suddenly. Don't I? Your kind doesn't understand freedom, only power. Something shifts in his expression. My kind? Alphas, kings, men who take what they want and burn what they don't. He steps closer. Moonlight reveals his face, the scars I hadn't noticed before. Burn marks along his jaw, disappearing beneath his collar. Join me for dinner tomorrow, he says, changing direction. Just us. Why? To silence the rumors that you've bewitched me. His voice softens. And because I owe you truth. I should refuse. I should run tonight, while darkness covers our tracks. One dinner, I agree instead. He bows his head. Until tomorrow, then. I return to our chambers, unsettled. Eli sleeps peacefully, one hand clutching his wooden wolf. I watch him breathe, each inhale a small miracle. The next evening, Maeve helps me dress in blue silk. The gown feels wrong against my skin, too fine, too formal. You look beautiful, she says, braiding my hair with silver threads. I look like someone else. She meets my eyes in the mirror. Perhaps that's not bad, for one night. Guards escort me to the king's private dining chamber. Ronan waits beside a table laden with food. He wears no crown, no armor, only dark trousers and a simple shirt that reveals his bandaged torso. You came, he says, surprise warming his voice. I said I would. He pulls out my chair. We sit across from each other, candlelight between us. Servants pour wine, then disappear, leaving us alone. The silence stretches uncomfortably. I study the man across from me, the northern king who destroyed my home, who killed without mercy, who now watches me with something like wonder. Why did you save me? He asks finally. I consider lying. But truth feels important tonight. I couldn't let anyone die in the snow. Not even you. Even knowing who I was. I didn't know then. He nods, accepting this. If you had known? I meet his gaze directly. I would have left you to freeze. Something shifts in his expression. Respect, perhaps. Honest, at least. We eat in silence. The food tastes rich, too complicated for my simple palate. Ronan barely touches his plate, watching me instead. The scars, I say, gesturing to his face. From battle? His hand rises to his jaw, fingers tracing the burn marks. From fire. The palace burned 3 years ago. 3 years, the same time as the raids. I lost my mate that night, he continues, voice tight with old pain. And our unborn child. My fork clatters against china. What? Darius, my former second, set the blaze. My mate was 7 months pregnant with our daughter. His eyes fix on something far away. I couldn't reach them in time. The breath leaves my lungs. The raids on our villages, they happened after the fire, after his loss. You ordered the attacks on border villages after that, I say, pieces connecting. His eyes find mine, haunted with memory. I became the monster they feared. I sought vengeance for blood with blood. Innocent blood, I remind him. Children died in those raids. His face tightens. I know, I didn't care then. And now? Now I carry that weight too. The silence hangs between us, heavy with ghosts. I think of Jacob, of the family we might have had. I dreamed of fire for months, I say finally. After Pinecrest burned, I still hear the screams. His hands clench on the table. I ordered that raid personally. My breath catches. The same night from both our nightmares. The night that destroyed us both. Something in me snaps. I stand, palm striking his cheek with surprising force. The crack echoes through the chamber. You took everything from me, I say, voice breaking. He doesn't move, doesn't defend himself. I know. My home. My future. Jacob's family. Jacob, he asks quietly. My mate. Tears burn in my eyes. He died protecting me from raiders 6 months before. But his parents, his sisters, they died in your fire. Ronan stands slowly, hand reaching toward me. I step back. I will never forgive you, I whisper. I don't ask forgiveness, he says. Only understanding. Understanding what? That grief turns good men into monsters. That I am trying to be worthy of the life you saved. A guard bursts into the chamber before I can respond. His face shows panic, urgency. Your Majesty, he says, bowing quickly. Scouts report movement at the northern border. Darius's forces approach. Ronan straightens, king once more. How many? 50, perhaps more. They carry black arrows. My heart stops. Black arrows, the sign of execution. Secure the fortress, Ronan commands. Double the guard at all entrances. The guard salutes, then pauses. There's more, Your Majesty. They speak of a prophecy about the Omega who ends wolf blood. Both men look at me. My legs weaken. What does that mean? I ask. It means Darius knows you're here, Ronan says, voice hard with new purpose. And he wants what I protect. That night, lying beside Eli's sleeping form, I hear wolves howl beyond the walls. Warning, threatening, preparing. In the darkness, a small thud comes from our balcony. I rise silently, knife in hand. A black feathered arrow sits on the stone ledge. Tied to its shaft, a scrap of parchment bears 3 words. The boy dies. His eyes found mine across the dining table. I became the monster they feared, he said. The fortress erupts in chaos at dawn. Guards rush through corridors. Servants pack provisions. Ronan stands in the great hall, issuing commands as warriors bow before him. I push through the crowd, Eli clutched against my chest. Ronan's eyes find mine instantly. Get to the infirmary, he says. Maeve will protect you. They want my son, I say, voice tight with fear. His expression hardens. They won't have him. Smoke rises from the northern forest. The first warning, the first threat. Eli coughs against my shoulder. Mama, what's happening? Nothing, little wolf, I lie. We're safe here. Ronan's gaze softens as it falls on Eli. The boy should go to the mountains. The Southern Coven will shelter him. I won't leave him, I say fiercely. Then you'll go together, he decides. Tonight, through the Western Pass. Maeve appears beside us, her face grave. The pass won't open for days. Make it open, Ronan commands. Hours blur together. I help tend wounded scouts who return with tales of approaching forces. Darius leads them himself, they say. He seeks the child of prophecy. My child. Eli stays close, unnaturally quiet. He watches everything with solemn eyes, too much like his father. Evening brings heavy silence. The fortress waits, breathless with anticipation. I find Ronan in his war chamber, bent over maps and battle plans. Why does he want my son? I ask. Ronan doesn't look up. The prophecy speaks of an Omega child born under blood moons, a child who will end the reign of alphas. Eli was born during harvest, I say, 3 years ago. Ronan's head snaps up. The night of the red harvest moon? I nod, uneasy with his intensity. What does it matter? That same night, my palace burned. My child died. Something shifts in his expression. And I unleashed hell upon your people. A horn blasts from the eastern wall. Attack signals echo across the fortress. They've breached the outer gate, a guard announces, rushing into the chamber. Ronan transforms instantly from man to commander. Evacuate the civilians, all warriors to the battlements. His eyes find mine one last time. Stay with Maeve. If I fall, run east through the tunnels. Before I can respond, he strides from the room, sword in hand. I run to our chambers, heart pounding against my ribs. Eli sits on the bed, clutching his wooden wolf. We need to go, I tell him, gathering our few possessions. Where's Ronan? He asks. The question startles me. Fighting. Eli's face tightens with worry beyond his years. He promised to teach me chess. My throat closes with unexpected emotion. Maybe later, little wolf. Maeve bursts into the room. Come quickly. The eastern wall is under attack. We follow her through winding corridors, descending deeper into the fortress. Other women and children huddle in stone chambers, faces pale with fear. Stay here, Maeve orders, no matter what you hear. But Eli is missing. My heart stops. Eli? I spin, searching the frightened crowd. No small, dark head, no solemn eyes. He was just here, I say, panic rising. Maeve grabs my arm. When did you last see him? In the corridor. He was right beside me. We retrace our steps, calling his name. Smoke fills the upper passages. The sounds of battle echo through stone walls, metal against metal, cries of pain and rage. The eastern courtyard, Maeve says suddenly. He asked about it earlier, said he saw wolves gathering there. We run, choking on smoke and fear. The courtyard stands empty of warriors, all drawn to the walls to fight. But a small figure dashes across the open space, heading for a side gate. Eli! I scream. He turns, face lighting with relief. Mama! A shadow detaches from the wall behind him. A man, tall and cruel-eyed, reaches for my son. Eli, run! I shout. The man catches him easily. The prophesied child, he says, voice carrying across the yard. So small for such a big destiny. Maeve pulls me back into the shadows. That's Darius, she whispers. Darius holds Eli against his chest, one clawed hand at my son's throat. Come out, little mother, he calls. I know you're there. I step forward. Maeve tries to stop me, but I shake her off. Let him go, I say, voice steadier than my legs. Darius smiles, teeth too sharp for his human face. The famous Omega who saved the king. Did you know you carried your greatest enemy through the storm? He's not my enemy anymore, I say, moving closer. Let my son go. Not until Ronan comes for you both. Darius tightens his grip, making Eli whimper. He cares for you. That makes you valuable. He cares for nothing but his crown. Darius laughs, the sound cruel and knowing. You carried him through death, but he would carry you through life. I've seen how he watches you. A roar shakes the courtyard, rage and pain given voice. Ronan charges through the smoke, blood streaking his armor, eyes burning silver fire. Darius smiles. Right on time. What happens next blurs into instinct and terror. Darius throws Eli aside, transforming as he lunges toward Ronan. They collide in fury and claws, human forms abandoned for primal rage. I run to Eli, sheltering him against the wall. Blood sprays across stone as the alphas tear at each other. Ronan fights with cold precision, Darius with desperate fury. Close your eyes, I whisper to Eli. But I can't close mine. Darius lands a brutal strike, sending Ronan crashing into the fortress wall. Stone cracks beneath the impact. Darius turns toward us, victory in his eyes. The prophecy ends tonight, he snarls. Something breaks inside me, fear giving way to something older, stronger. I push Eli behind me and step forward, empty hands raised. You want to end wolf blood? I ask, voice carrying across the yard. Then take mine first. Darius hesitates, confused by my offer. That moment costs him everything. I grab the fallen dagger at my feet and lunge. The blade sinks into his chest with surprising ease. His eyes widen with shock, then understanding. You, he whispers. It was always you. He falls, blood pooling beneath him. Silence descends, broken only by Eli's soft crying. Ronan struggles to rise, wounds bleeding freely. Our eyes meet across the courtyard, understanding passing between us. I run to him, helping him stand. You're hurt, I say. You saved me again, he replies, voice rough with pain. Habit, I guess. His lips curve slightly. Behind us, the fortress burns. Around us, battle continues. But for this moment, we stand together in strange, sudden peace. We need to go, I say, supporting his weight. Eli? He asks. I'm here, Eli says, appearing beside us. His small hand reaches for Ronan's larger one. Are you going to die? Ronan's face softens. Not today, young wolf. We stagger toward the eastern gate. Rain begins to fall, dousing flames and washing blood from stone. Ronan straightens, finding new strength. You carried me once, he whispers. Let me carry you now. Despite his wounds, he lifts me into his arms. Eli climbs onto his back. Together, we move through rain toward distant mountains. Days pass in healing. The fortress stands damaged, but undefeated. Ronan's pack rebuilds walls and homes. Peace treaties spread across territories, the Northern King ending generations of war. I tend his wounds each night, fingers gentle against scarred skin. We speak little, our silence comfortable now, almost intimate. One evening, he finds me on the balcony, watching wolves patrol beneath moonlight. You could leave, he says. The passes are clear. I would give you escort to any land you choose. I turn to face him. And if I wanted to stay? Something shifts in his expression. Hope, perhaps fear. Why would you? Eli sleeps through the night here. His cough improves each day. I step closer, and I find I sleep better too. Because you feel safe? Because you're near. The words surprise us both. Truth often does. Ronan reaches for my hand, movement slow, giving me time to pull away. I don't. I destroyed your world once, he says. I won't do it again. My world rebuilds, I reply. As does yours. His fingers trace my palm, my wrist, the pulse that quickens beneath his touch. Stay, he whispers, not as guest or healer. Stay as mine. I belong to no one, I remind him. He kneels before me, the mighty Northern King on his knees. Then let me belong to you, not as alpha or ruler, but as man. I lift his face to mine. Our eyes meet. No more silver fire, only warmth. I lower my lips to his, tasting forgiveness and future in one breath. Under moonlight, we mark each other as mates, his teeth against my neck, mine against his shoulder. The bond settles between us, ancient and new. 1 year later, peace reigns. I wake beside Ronan, our newborn daughter sleeping between us. Her tiny hands clutch at dreams. Her lungs fill easily with mountain air. Eli sits by our window, reading stories to his sister even though she doesn't understand. He grows stronger each day, his coughs now rare as winter roses. Outside, 20 wolves guard the fortress walls, the same pack that once surrounded my fear, now circling our love. The Alpha King sleeps with one arm around his family, scars faded to silver lines. The storm is over. We are finally home.